The Tale of Kamarupa, a Demon's Redemption. Long ago, deep within the dense forests of the Vindhya mountain range, there lived a powerful demon named Kamarupa. Unlike ordinary beings, he possessed a rare magical ability, the power to transform into any form at will. For thousands of years, he roamed the earth, his existence stretching far beyond that of mortals. Yet, despite his immense power, an unbearable weariness settled upon him. He had seen civilizations rise and fall, witnessed the passage of countless generations, and endured an eternity of solitude. His once mighty demonic existence had become a burden, and he longed for an end. But death did not come easily for one such as him. His colossal body, vast as a mountain, was impervious to the means by which mortals perished. A leap from the highest peak would take but a single step, making the fall meaningless. The deepest seas barely reached his knees, rendering drowning impossible. Even his transformative abilities betrayed him, for whenever he attempted to take his own life in another form, his true essence would forcibly return, preventing him from escaping his fate. As the days passed in ceaseless contemplation, his mind grew restless. No matter how much he pondered, he found no solution. It was then that fate intervened. A great sage, radiant with divine brilliance, arrived in the forest. The sight of the sage filled Kamarupa with awe. The luminous aura surrounding him hinted at unparalleled wisdom. A flicker of hope ignited within the demon's heart. Perhaps this sage held the key to his dilemma. Realizing that his grotesque form might instill fear or rejection, Kamarupa chose to approach the sage in human guise. With this transformation complete, he stepped forward and revealed his plight, seeking a path to liberation from his eternal existence. The sage, unshaken by the demon's confession, listened with patience. After a moment of reflection, he spoke. The cycle of life, he explained, was bound by karma. If Kamarupa sought to end his existence forcefully, the remnants of his lifespan would necessitate a rebirth. True liberation was unattainable until his karma had been fulfilled. The revelation startled Kamarupa. The notion of yet another lifetime weighed heavily upon him, yet the alternative, to remain in his monstrous form, was no better. When the sage granted him the freedom to choose his next incarnation, uncertainty gripped him. The vastness of possibilities overwhelmed him. Seeking guidance, he turned once more to the sage, who spoke with clarity. Among all beings, the human life was supreme. If he wished for a meaningful existence, he should embrace humanity. Though hesitant, Kamarupa found no reason to refuse. However, before committing, he sought to understand the essence of human life. He wished to witness firsthand the nature of those he might become. The sage, amused by his curiosity, granted his request. Thus, Kamarupa journeyed to a grand city, taking residence among men. As he observed their ways, he noted the structure of their society, their devotion to family, and their adherence to laws. They seemed to live with purpose, bound by love and responsibility. A thought formed within him. Perhaps living as one of them would indeed be better than his cursed existence. His curiosity led him to the presence of Virasimha, the revered guardian of the city. A towering figure of strength and confidence, Virasimha was hailed as a mighty warrior, a protector of the people. He walked with an air of invincibility, his every movement exuding authority. Kamarupa, eager to understand the essence of human valor, approached him. He listened as Virasimha boasted of his strength, claiming that no demon or enemy could stand against him. But the words, laden with pride, stirred an unexpected anger within Kamarupa. Had he not come to live among humans in peace? Yet here stood a man who declared himself the slayer of beings like him. The arrogance was unbearable. Kamarupa revealed his monstrous form. Virasimha, stripped of his bravado, trembled in terror. His once bold words dissolved into pleas for mercy. The warrior, who had spoken so fearlessly of slaying demons, Kamarupa, reveling in the irony, demanded that Virasimha bow before him. With no choice, the frightened warrior complied, circling him thrice and falling to his feet. Satisfied, Kamarupa spared his life, but left with a deep realization. Human pride was fleeting, a mask worn until fear stripped it away. Determined to explore further, he ventured next to the house of a wealthy merchant. The merchant, engrossed in discussions about his daughter's marriage, spoke of seeking the perfect match. Intrigued, Kamarupa assumed the form of a handsome young man and presented himself as a suitor. The merchant, however, was not easily convinced. Doubts clouded his judgment, and he ultimately declined. Enraged, Kamarupa shed his disguise, towering before the man in his true form. The merchant, paralyzed with fear, abandoned all hesitation. His concern for his daughter's happiness vanished, replaced by the desperate instinct to survive. He immediately agreed to the marriage, offering his daughter in exchange for his own safety. Kamarupa laughed bitterly. Just moments ago, this man had spoken of love and the importance of choosing the right partner. Yet, when confronted with death, he was willing to surrender his child to a demon. Human love, he realized, was fickle, eclipsed by the primal instinct of self-preservation. Seeking one final answer, he visited the home of Sivananda. Night had fallen when Kamarupa arrived, taking his monstrous form as he stood before the pious man. At the sight of the demon, Sivananda's body trembled. Kamarupa observed him closely. A man of faith should find solace in his beliefs, yet fear overtook him. The demon mocked him, questioning his devotion. If he truly believed in his God, should he not stand fearless? The trembling only affirmed his suspicion. Sivananda's prayers were not for the divine, but for the approval of men. His faith wavered in the face of real terror. When Kamarupudu demanded that he submit, the terrified man complied, proving that even the strongest faith was fragile before death. With these encounters, Kamarupudu's understanding of human nature deepened. He returned to the sage, no longer uncertain. "You once said human life is the greatest," he declared, "but I have seen their flaws. They are opportunists, deceiving even themselves. They claim to value love, faith, and honor, yet discard these in the face of fear." The sage listened patiently before asking, "If that is what you believe, then what life do you now choose?" To his surprise, Kamarupudu replied, "I still choose to be human." The sage raised an eyebrow. "Even after witnessing their nature?" "Yes," Kamarupudu affirmed. "For their imperfections, humans possess something rare. Despite their fear, they cling to life. They find hope even in despair. I have lived for eternity, yet I have never cherished life the way they do. They fear death, yet they fight to live. There is something captivating about their existence. I wish to experience it." The sage smiled, recognizing the wisdom in his words. With a sacred chant, he sprinkled divine water upon Kamarupudu. In an instant, the demon vanished, reborn into the world as a human. Thus, Kamarupudu, once burdened by immortality, stepped into a new life. A life where he would know love, loss, and the very essence of what it meant to truly live.